Does this movie really need an introduction? It's widely regarded as one of, if not the best modern werewolf movie, and this used to be one of my favorites, but after having not seen it in quite a few years, I've found it didn't hold up the best for me. But before anyone cuts off my head, there are a few things I still really liked about the movie. So let's get into it. The film follows two Americans, David and Jack, who are traveling through the moors in Yorkshire. They go to a bar where Jack's sense of humor is not received well, so they leave. They go off-road when they notice something is following them in the fog. This is one of my favorite bits from the movie. I think it's a really well done and suspenseful scene. Right as they think they're safe, they get attacked by the werewolf. Jack dies and David is scratched before the locals shoot it. David awakes in a hospital in London and is told that he and Jack were attacked by a crazed maniac and not a wolf. David denies this, insisting it was a wolf attack. The doctor acknowledges this would make sense given Jack's wounds, but still refuses to believe him over the police that worked on the case. It's not long before David receives a visit from the ghost of his dead friend Jack, who tells him the souls of those who were killed by werewolves are doomed to walk the earth until the wolf bloodline is killed. So he begs David to off himself, but David just thinks he's crazy and calls the nurse. Anyway, here's where we are introduced to one of my biggest problems with this movie. Here he meets Alex, a nurse who has the hots for him. Here his relationship with Alex becomes pretty much most of the movie. Honestly, she, like most of the characters in this movie, doesn't really have a whole lot going on. Her entire purpose of the film is just to feel sad for and fuck David, who she knows is crazy, or at least heavily suspects. He's told her on multiple occasions that he talks to his dead friend and thinks he's a werewolf. Like damn, if you want to date him, fine, but at least get him some help. Anyway, so the night of the full moon comes while she's off at work and he transforms in her apartment. Of course, I have to say this is one of the best and most iconic scenes in the movie. Rick Baker really did an outstanding job here, and we get a few minutes of Wolf point of view as he kills a few people. He awakens in the zoo the next morning with no memory of what happened, and when he finds out about the animal attacks, he decides he has some unfinished business before he transforms again. I don't want to give away the ending of the movie, but I will say the final sequence of this movie is pretty great. That's all I'll say about it. I'm really sad I didn't enjoy this one as much as I remembered. The relationship with Alex was really uninteresting and takes up way too much of the movie. There's also a secondary plot where the main doctor who sees David does some investigating into the area where Jack and David were attacked, but that's not super compelling because we, the audience, are aware of what he is not. Dramatic irony can be used well, but it didn't really serve any sort of purpose here. So I'd probably still recommend this movie for a handful of really well done scenes, but I'm not crazy about the larger sum of this movie. 5 out of 10.